Yeah, I mean, I guess this is more so for those that don't have an opportunity, presented to them. But if they have somewhere else that they can go, that they're, got people sewing into them and, people are accountable to and so forth, then cool, run with that. But I guess this is mostly for those that don't have an opportunity, do you know what I mean? And I think the Crown of Thorns, other than myself and Andy, we want to have people that vouch for this and that back this, so that you having that on your CD or whatever is a I don't want to say reputable. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a sign of a certain amount of quality that, there are people who have been in the ministry for how many years, do you know what I'm saying, that vouch for this and are willing to stand and say, yeah, I'm responsible to an extent, for this artist, and I'm accountable with them. Hopefully so.
Yeah. I think the big question, no, that's a good point. The big question mark then is, if someone wouldn't want to do that, the question you ask is, why? And there could be a perfectly valid reason, but why wouldn't you want accountability? Why wouldn't you want a fellowship with other brothers?
Yeah.
Why? It's the basic core of the Christian faith that you're not wanting to be involved in.
Yeah. And up till now, I mean, it's been totally optional. Like, there's not really even been an option like this, do you know what I mean? That people just do their own thing. But I think once there is that type of a culture established, that I think, in the Proverbs it says, a man that isolates himself seeks his own desire, do you know what I'm saying? And it becomes unpopular, I would hope, at some point, for you to be a solo island, you know what I'm saying? That you're not accountable to anyone, no one knows you're coming or you're going. Like, I think that's a situation that we would hope to minimize. You know what I'm saying? And that what would be the regular thing would be that you are part of a body. You are responsible, you know what I'm saying? You're accountable to a greater body than yourselves. You know what I mean? It would be like a doctor that has his own qualification. Where did you get that from? Yeah, my uncle gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really trustworthy? Do you know what I'm saying? You would want people that have actually been through some kind of a process and some kind of a examining board, as it were, do you know what I mean? But without being so deep, I just,
And also, am I right in saying, to a degree, we'll be looking to get, there'll be other outside parties that will be backing this?
Oh, absolutely. Possibly. I mean, I've been talking with people, the likes of Sho Baraka from Reach Records, my pastors, MOD, and some other people, about getting aboard. And thus far, they're just 100% on board, do you know what I mean? So it's literally just for us to get paperwork signed. And they want to see the growth of the UK urban gospel scene. They want to see people not just grow in terms of CD sales, but they want to see that, young men and women grow to be ministers out of this, do you know what I'm saying? Because, I believe firmly that a lot of this music ministry is just a kickstart for church leadership. Do you know what I'm saying? The people we're talking about as the artists of the next generation, ultimately, will probably be the next generation of church planters and church elders. So,
I think it's just backing a fantastic opportunity we've got in the UK at the moment to do something really big in urban cities across the country. And it's just a case of, together we could do something really, really special, and apart we could just continue to be quite disjointed.
Totally.
Whereas I think if we follow the pattern we see in the scriptures, it's a no-brainer. The early church, with a means of communicating to today's culture, which, in my opinion, is the thing that I'm most hungry and desperate to really see happen in the streets of London and in clubs, pubs, music venues, churches. I want to see the church everywhere you go.
Totally. And I think that's a really important part, seeing the church established. That I think this opportunity really goes out more so to those who feel that their gift is a ministry. Do you know what I'm saying? It's something that's God-given, and they have a responsibility to share the gospel and to see that established. I think for people who want to get into the music industry just to be musician as a job and whatever, I think there's other agencies and other places where they can go to get support. This is more so for those that feel, what, maybe God's given me this thing for a reason, do you know what I'm saying? To communicate him to the world, and we want to help them to do that. That's really it.
Well, one of the things we'd be looking at is we'd be wanting to make contact with the local church that they attend as well, find out how they're serving there, etc. So that would be a part of it, because obviously there's no good point in just having a person at face value at a meeting and doing discipleship teaching seminars and not really knowing and having the accountability in the local church as well. Because at the end of the day, this isn't the local church. The gospel urban scene is not the local church. It's just a small expression of it. And so we'll be looking to partner with and make contact with each of the church of each artist that decides to join, just so that there is a much bigger accountability that we're seeking to serve and help the local churches in what they're developing, and also on them getting a grasp and understanding of this ministry. Some ministers that I've spoken to in churches that I've spoken to and ministered at, when talking to them about the scene, they just have this idea that everything's rosy, everything's perfect, they're all ministers of God and there's nothing wrong going on and no one needs any discipleship because they're already ministers on a stage and they think things are all right. They're not all right. One of the most important things is being servant-hearted. So as we were saying at the beginning, it's all about installing character above everything else. Everything else. I mean, you can be full of theological knowledge, like loads of doctors are, that lecture and stuff, and the practicalities of it aren't so evident. Even some unbelievers are more knowledgeable in the scripture than I am. But it's about getting that servant heart, getting that relevant, radical implementation of following Christ. We're going to start with it small and then learn as we go, because we're learning, aren't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, keep us in prayer on that. Obviously, we're not here presenting a completed idea. We've still got some more organising and structurising to do. But this is the aim, what we're throwing out. So maybe what you're saying is the practicalities of how that will play out, we're yet to actually establish. But this is our heart's desire, and this is what we're planning to do. So. And
we're not party poopers. For anyone who gets that impression, we're not party poopers. We're not coming to look and kind of take over. It's because we've got mad love for people. And Jahaziel has gone through some rough times, haven't you, as an artist, in the beginning. And you don't want to see others have to go through that.
Absolutely. I mean,
myself as well. I'm not saying Jahaziel's a screw up and I'm great. I've gone through some really bad things I've done in ministry that I wish, looking back on now, I could have just stood at the front and gone, Jesus, rapture, take me now. Don't want to be here. Don't want to do this anymore. And it's just learning from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the three main characteristics of what we hope to give during the sessions and the whole program is fellowship. I'm saying, just to encourage fellowship amongst as much as you might see or hear certain artists on the same bill or whatever. Very often there's a distinct lack of fellowship amongst the people involved in that scene, the music. So we're hoping to really bring about more fellowship amongst people and really just create opportunity for dialogue and networking between people and relationship building. Also is, teaching would be another key element. Us really looking at the scriptures and what does the Bible say about my responsibilities. Do you know what I'm saying? We look in Timothy and Titus and it speaks about the qualifications of an elder. And although it doesn't necessarily, the urban rapper or grime MC or whatever doesn't necessarily qualify as an elder, the position does come with responsibilities. As you're a public figure and a public Christian, it does come with responsibilities. We want to look at, okay, what does the scripture demand of us within that role? And I think that's where we know the emphasis would be on being as proficient at sharing the gospel as you would be at spitting a verse. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the mindset we want to approach it with. And I think the other key element of fellowship, the teaching, and our industry, which should be us giving and getting people in who have knowledge in different areas of the industry, whether it be from recording to manufacturing to distribution to marketing to all the other things in between, sample clearancing, publishing, and all these other issues that for a lot of people who've got the zeal, young people, be like, yeah, I want to do this, but have no idea of those type of things. We can help give some understanding so that we can be excellent in our business as well. So.